Okay, everyone, happy Monday. It is January 14th. We are 2 weeks into this new year. I hope that you are sticking to whatever resolutions you made or didn't make for this 2019. And just follow through, whatever end that you're on that, right? I'm still on my eating. I'm still on my Whole30. I'm pretty excited about that. And we'll see where that takes me. Haven't quite got the exercise routine in all the way yet, but I'm working on it, and it'll come. I'm gonna rise up in my chair here, but it'll come. That's okay too. I'm not beating myself up. I'm just working on getting it in my schedule, keeping it in my schedule so that I can follow through and get my workouts in. Today is Monday. I almost always do a Facebook Live on Monday, so I jumped on today. Look what I got, notes. I got notes again, y'all. And what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit today about our sensory kids. What's interesting about this is we all have this to some degree. Just like we've talked about on other things, we all have this to some degree as well. We all have a texture, like maybe a food or a texture that we don't like. We won't eat that food. Like I don't like eggplant, right? Eggplant, like blah, it's got a weird texture. I don't like it. Some people it's a certain kind of fabric, right? They don't like that. For some people it's a noise. I can't stand that scraping down fingernails down a chalkboard or scraping metal across concrete. Drives me bananas, right? So we all have this. We all have this to a certain degree. What's interesting about this is our kids that have this, they're just way more sensitive than the adults are, right? It catches up with them a lot quicker, and they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to process it. They don't know how to handle it, and it makes them spin, right? It makes them spin. Get it off me, whatever it is. So that's what we see with these guys. So it's really, really interesting. And they feel everything a little bit more than the average kid, right? So these kids with these issues, with these sensory issues, they just feel, taste, see, sense more than the average kid. This isn't a bad thing again. Remember that. None of this is necessarily bad. We don't want to put it in a good or bad category. Like I've talked about before, I really believe these things are superpowers, and these kids in a lot of ways are superheroes, and they're gonna be doing some things, but they need a little help, right? They have a lot of issues with transitions too, as energy changes and as different thing happens. Let's see, and they just need a different set of tools to help them. That's what they need. They just need a little different set of tools to help them. In my practice, we take care of a lot of these kids. We see this a lot with little girls who can't maybe wear tights, right? Like maybe they're going to ballet or gymnastics and they have a hard time wearing tights, and so they end up wearing a little bit different clothes. Or right now the skinny jeans are in, and some of these girls, or even some of the boys, you know, the jeans are just cut different than when I was a kid. Well, not really. I was from the 80s, so it's actually the same. But anyway, so anything that's tight on them, they're just really uncomfortable in that, and they need a different set of tools. And we work out from there. And we think of it as bad, like I said, but we see it from a good thing. We just need to see it from a different angle, right? And like I said, we take care of a ton of these kids. And what is going on with these kids is they just have, like I said, they have trouble processing their environment, and they have trouble processing stressors, right? And that's where that thing is. It's a lack of adaptation to stressors, and they can't overcome the stressors that they're having: chemical, physical, and emotional. Remember, those are the three big things that cause stress: misalignment, subluxation, disease, whatever you want to call it. Those are the three things that cause problems in our life, right? Chemical, physical, and emotional stress, the 3 T's: toxins, traumas, and thoughts. And they have trouble with that, and it's okay. Mom and dad, it's okay. Whatever you're doing, it's okay. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. Like I said, everyone has this to some degree. They just get overwhelmed quicker and faster, right? So again, they don't process their environment the same way that we do. So they get overwhelmed a lot quicker and a lot faster. Textures, noises, and fabrics tend to be the biggies with this. And sometimes they're even seeking sensory, right? So they can be sensory seeking to overcome their sensory issues because they have a different normal. We've seen this, right, with the they seek sensory in a lot of different ways. It's not just jumping off the back of the couch or the roof, if you were like me and my friends when we were kids, right? It's because their system is so overwhelmed and their foot is so far on the gas, it's so far to the right, like on that chart that we use a lot, that for them to get excitement or to get stimulated, they even have to go further, right? So they even have to go further. I think I talked about all that already. All right, cool beans. And when they're running in the red for so long, this is their new baseline. So like I was just saying, it's their new baseline, and high stress becomes a habit, and they need to form a new normal, so the threshold changes. So they have to put overwhelm into an already overwhelmed system, and that's where the behavioral issues come in. They're not very resilient. Emotional instability, they're kind of all over the place. They don't do with transitions. And that's what our goal is here at Taylor Sport Chiropractic and Wellness, helping a lot of these kids, is we want to help them bring stress into balance. We want to break those patterns and help them pull their foot off the gas pedal and teach them where the brake is. We want to help them find that brake pedal so they can slow down a little bit. We want to help them with a new threshold. We want them to be less overwhelmed. We want them to adapt better and not outwardly seeking feedback. So we want to bring back that sensory. We also want them to be more resilient. We want their immune system to be booted up better, and we want them to be more emotionally stable, right? So these are the things that we're looking for. That's what's happening with some of the sensory things. I'm not going to go down the whole rabbit hole right now. I've got another page and a half of notes here, but those are the biggies, and that's what we're doing with chiropractic. When we do the very specific adjustments on these kiddos, we can help them take the foot off the gas and put it on the brake so that they can handle these situations, noises, textures, fabrics, different things, and then we can see them moving into more, I'm going to use the word normal. I don't really like to use that word because we all know there is no real normal, but we want to see them being able to wear the clothes that their friends are wearing. We want them to be able to go to sleepovers and hang out with their friends. We want them to be able to be in environments that can be stimulating, but they're not overstimulated, so they can be with their friends. And this is what I'm hearing from the moms and dads, is that they just want their kids, they want to see their kids be able to live like that. They want their kids to be able to thrive and be the best that they possibly can in all of these types of environments. And that's what we do here. That's what we do here at Taylor Sport Chiropractic and Wellness. That is my ultimate goal this year, is to help as many kids as possible with these issues. I'm a big sensory ADD, ADHD kid, suffered with it terribly as a youngster, and then, into middle school, high school, struggled with friendships, different things, terribly dyslexic, lots of trouble reading, always in the slow group, just all of these things. I get it. So I want to help as many kids as possible, and chiropractic is one of the ways that we do that. If this is your kid, if this is your family, if you know a neighbor or a cousin or anyone that you feel could benefit from this, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, I'm doing a talk. It's called The Perfect Storm, Anxiety, ADD, ADHD. We'll be talking about sensory stuff as well in our kiddos and what that looks like and how we can help. It's $10. It's going to be right over here in my own, there's a big conference center in my building at 1322 Space Park Drive. I would love it if you would come and listen and just hear this information. I'm really excited to be putting this information out into my community. We will be recording it and sending it out as well, so that's another option. So if this interests you in any way, If you think that this might be something that, you know, you haven't tried yet, I know that a lot of moms and dads have tried a lot of different things. I realize that I'm usually the last house on the block. I realize that there's, you know, a lot of medications and different opinions and so forth and so on out there. But if this piques your interest and you would like to try something a little bit different, please, please, please come on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me through my Facebook page. You can contact the office. You can call the office directly and ask some questions. I'll be happy to do a consult even on the phone. But this is a big deal, and this is a great way to help just a ton of kids. And I'll finish this talk. I'll jump back on next week probably, and I'll do this whole talk, this whole sensory talk. But just for now, that's just like the tip of the iceberg, and that's what we're seeing. So that's it for now. Have a great Monday. Stick to your resolutions, right? I'm going to get in the gym this week. I'm going to get in the gym this week. I am. I'm going to do it. All right? So y'all have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.